Alex Eala's billion-dollar deal was everywhere. On your timeline. In your notifications. Shared by your Tito, your Lola, even that office mate who's never watched a single tennis match in their life. The numbers were outrageous. The headlines were explosive. The story felt unstoppable. There was just one problem. None of it was real. But here's what nobody was talking about. The real scandal wasn't the fake deal. The real scandal was who was behind it, why it kept resurfacing, and how it nearly swallowed one of the most inspiring athletes the Philippines has ever produced. Stay with us because by the end of this video, you're going to see Alex Eala's story in a way you never have before. And you're going to ask yourself one very uncomfortable question. To understand why the lies spread so fast, you first have to understand how fast the truth moved. 12 months ago, Alex Eala was ranked world no. 139. Let that sink in. 139. She was a name whispered with hope inside the Philippine tennis community, promising, talented, but unproven at the highest level. She had the junior pedigree, the US Open girls singles title, the headlines back home. But the professional tour is a different beast. It chews up prodigies. It humbles talent. It breaks the unprepared. Alex Eala was none of those. What happened next can only be described as a controlled explosion. She stormed into the WTA Top 100, then detonated expectations at the Miami Open, reaching the semifinals while taking down, back-to-back, Madison Keys, an Australian Open champion Jelena Ostapenko, a Roland Garros winner and a former five-time major champion. Yes, in the same tournament it wasn't luck. It wasn't a hot week. It was a rival. Soon after, she made history again, becoming the first Filipino in the Open era to win a main draw match at the US Open. She captured her first WTA Challenger title in Guadalajara. By September 2025, she was ranked world no. 57, knocking on the door of the elite. And by February 2026, she was standing under the lights at the Dubai Tennis Championships, trading blows with Coco Gauff, the world no. 4. The scoreline 6-6, 6-2 didn't tell the real story. Even Gauff admitted it afterward. Alex is a tough competitor. Even when I was up, I knew she could come back at any moment. 20 years old. World no. 45. Crowds in Abu Dhabi packed with Filipinos, some flying in, some driving for hours, some simply showing up to scream their hearts out for a girl from Quezon City who was redefining what Southeast Asian tennis looked like on the global stage. And with that kind of rise comes something no coaching staff can train for. Fame. Not slow fame. Not earned over decades fame. Viral fame. The kind that doesn't distinguish between truth and fiction. Between journalism and fabrication. Between reality and a headline designed purely to steal clicks, data, and trust. The bigger Alex Eala became, the more valuable her name became. Not just to sponsors. Not just to fans. But to people with far more cynical intentions. The stage was set. The machine was already running. And once it started, it didn't care what was real anymore. And Alex Eala had no idea what was coming. It began the way most modern scandals do. With a Facebook post. Then another. And another. Suddenly, multiple posts were circulating online claiming that Filipina tennis star Alex Eala had received a staggering $1.6 billion contract offer from Abu Dhabi billionaire Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Let's pause on that number. $1.6 billion. For context, a $7 billion deal over 10 years, as the posts claimed, would be 10 times larger than the $700 million contract signed by baseball megastar Shohei Ohtani, the largest confirmed sports contract in history. This wasn't just big. It was absurdly, historically impossible. A number so astronomical it should have stopped every reader cold. It didn't. According to the viral claims, the deal included a $1 billion upfront payment, $600 million annually, all in exchange for Eala relocating to the UAE capital and serving as the queen of a newly created Abu Dhabi Diamond Tennis Championship. There were glossy graphics. Side-by-side photos of Eala and the Sheikh. Comment sections exploding with pride and celebration. Filipinos tagged their friends. Their parents. Entire family group chats lit up. And honestly, why wouldn't they believe it? Eala was in Abu Dhabi at the time. She was making headlines. She was competing at the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open, drawing massive crowds. She had just staged a dramatic comeback against Alexandra Sasnovich in the second round. She was still alive in doubles. Her name was everywhere. The timing was perfect. Too perfect. Because this wasn't the first time. Not even close. Months earlier, another viral post claimed Wilson had offered Eala a $45 million endorsement deal. Fact-checkers quickly debunked it. The post, published by a Facebook page called Tennis Plus, still managed to rack up 103,000 plus like 6,700 comments, 3,100 shares, over 100,000 people endorsed a story that was entirely fictional. Then came the fake Emirates airline sponsorship. According to the Post, Emirates had signed the 20-year-old to an unprecedented personal deal. $2 million per year free first-class travel to every tournament, part of an Accelerating Dreams campaign supporting young Asian talent. It was a beautiful story. And completely false. After that, the floodgates opened. Fake presidential bonuses. Fake $10 million charity donations. Fake $500 million disaster relief funds. Fake sob stories about her father working as a waiter. Fake AI-generated photos presented as real moments. When you step back and look at the full picture, something becomes clear. This wasn't random. It was a pattern. And in the world of digital disinformation, patterns are signatures. Investigations by Rappler and the Nerve identified at least 5 tennis-themed Facebook pages and 1 dedicated Facebook group claiming to support Alex Eala while repeatedly publishing clickbait, sensational headlines, and outright falsehoods. The goal wasn't celebration. It was engagement. Clicks. Shares. Algorithmic reach. And Alex Eala's name was the currency. These were not random fan pages run by overzealous supporters. They were engineered. The tennis-themed Facebook pages pushing fake Alex Eala stories consistently linked out to external websites flooded with advertising, often 20 or more ads on a single page. At first glance, these sites looked like legitimate news outlets. Headlines. Thumbnails. Clean layouts. But look closer and the essentials were missing. No editorial board. No transparency page. No ownership disclosure. No corrections policy. Behind the scenes, these pages were doing something else entirely. They were harvesting data. Cookies. Tracking pixels. User behavior profiling. Every click fed into retargeting systems that allowed operators to follow users, later serving them ads, new stories, or entirely different campaigns. Read that again slowly. 20 ads per page. User data collection. Retargeting campaigns. This was not passion. This was a business model. Alex Eala's name and face were being used as raw material in a large-scale advertising and data harvesting operation. And while some of the content was merely exaggerated, other narratives crossed into genuinely dangerous territory. At one point, Eala herself became the subject of fabricated political claims, including a false story alleging she had refused to participate in a Pride Night initiative on the WTA tour. Think about that. A 20-year-old athlete, focused entirely on training, recovery, and competition, was being used without her consent to push political narratives she had never expressed. Her image was being weaponized. Her name was being borrowed. And every click, whether supportive, outraged, or skeptical, generated revenue for people she had never met. Renaming accounts, reviving dormant pages, and recycling old audiences are well-documented tactics in coordinated disinformation campaigns. These pages followed that playbook almost perfectly. It wasn't amateur hour. The patterns mirrored operations previously documented by Rappler and the Nerve, the same fingerprints, the same engagement traps, the same monetization logic. And then came the moment that pushed the issue into mainstream Philippine news. Veteran broadcaster Mel Tiangco broke her usual cadence at the end of an evening newscast to address the rumors directly. There is a particular courage in speaking quietly amid chaos. Anyone would have understood if Alex Eala had exploded, if she had gone online with a furious rebuttal, hired lawyers, issued press statements, and made the fake news machine the center of her public identity. That's exactly what the machine wanted. More content. More reaction. More clicks. Instead, she chose precision. After her quarter-final exit at the Philippine Women's Open on January 29, 2026, where she lost to Colombia's Camila Osorio, Eala faced the press. In the middle of routine questions about her season and her tennis, the topic of fake news came up. Her answer was calm, measured, and devastating in its restraint. That's not really under my control. I don't have power over what other people post. I'm aware there have been a lot of fake news articles. It is concerning, because sometimes they get a lot of likes and it's difficult to tell the difference online. No anger. No panic. Then she reframed the entire conversation. I know people can get misinformed. My take would be to try to find reliable sources and listen to dependable outlets. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. 5 words that carried the weight of everything she couldn't control. She wasn't asking for sympathy. She wasn't threatening legal action. She was trusting her audience and asking them to be better than the algorithm. The WTA itself had noticed her rise. In an official interview, Eala reflected on the changes in her life. A lot of external factors have changed how people see me, or that people are seeing me at all. There's a lot of new exposure, but overall, it's been positive. Even when discussing negativity, she stayed grounded. I don't really pay attention to negative comments. For a 20-year-old carrying the hopes of a nation while competing in WTA 1000 events, that composure is extraordinary. So let's be clear about something. Behind the noise, behind the fake billion-dollar deals and manufactured controversies, the real story of Alex Eala is already historic. In 2025, she reached the semifinals of the Miami Open, defeating multiple Grand Slam champions. She won a main draw match at the US Open, becoming the first Filipino in the Open era to do so. She reached her first WTA final at Eastbourne International. She captured her first WTA Challenger title in Guadalajara. She entered 2026 ranked inside the world's top 45. She made quarterfinals at the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open. She followed that with a quarterfinal run at the Dubai Tennis Championships, where even in defeat, Coco Gauff acknowledged her quality and competitiveness. Her real partnerships tell the same story. Globe Telecom signed her as an ambassador when she was just 8 years old. Babolat supplies her racket. Nike outfits her on court. Bank of the Philippine Islands highlights her as an endorser for discipline and financial literacy. In July 2025, she became an ambassador for locally juice real companies. Real contracts. Real decisions based on real achievement. And yet, the fake $1.6 billion deal drew millions of views. The fake $45 million endorsement earned over 100,000 likes. The fake airline sponsorship spread faster than any verified news ever did. This is the paradox at the heart of the scandal. The truth was never as shareable as the lie. And in a digital economy where reach equals revenue, that imbalance is not accidental, it is designed. The operators behind these pages understood something deeply human. That Filipino pride, that fierce love for national heroes, could be monetized. Not celebrated. Harvested. That is the real billion-dollar scandal. Alex Eala will be fine. She is young, elite, composed, and supported. Her body of work speaks for itself. But the system that exploited her name remains intact. The pages still operate. The ads still run. The data harvesting continues. And the next breakout Filipino athlete, tennis, boxing, basketball, anywhere will face the same machine. So before you share the next jaw-dropping headline, ask yourself one question. Is this real? Or is someone using the person you love to sell you something? Because the real story of a girl from Quezon City who earned every ranking point, every victory, every ounce of respect is already more extraordinary than any fake headline ever written. And she deserves to have that story told. This isn't just Alex Eala's story. It's a warning for every sports fan in the digital age. If this made you stop and think, subscribe, because women's tennis deserves to be covered with truth, depth, and respect.